All right.
Hello, it's Robin and Kim here for our Wellness Wednesday health chat. And today, look where I am. We're in the kitchen. Kim's not in the kitchen, but she was in the kitchen, and we'll explain that in a second. So, the reason we're coming to you in the kitchen is because this month is Brussels sprouts and cabbage month. Who knew?
Um,
I know. So we want to talk about all the benefits of these wonderful vegetables. And the reason we do is because Monday was Earth Day. So this week, I've done a challenge in my Get Fit with Robin group where I want people to be cognizant of Earth Day every day this week and try to do something good for the earth, for the environment. So
love
one
that.
of those things is leading with a plant forward diet. And the reason is, and I have all my little list of things here, is because it just fell. So let me grab it. I was
Go
so
by,
set up
folks.
here so good too. Okay, there's less of a carbon footprint. It uses less water to produce, less energy, use less land. It requires less to grow vegetables, lower greenhouse intensities than animal based as well. And plus, they're good for you. You've heard Kim and I talk all about vegetables. So some of the health benefits of what I cooked with, and my recipe is sautéed cabbage. So I took the cabbage side. Is cabbage helps with reduced inflammation, improved digestion, reduces heart disease, stroke, improve immune system, stronger bones, manages diabetes, and 1 gram of fiber for every 10 calories of cabbage, which was good, can help with bad cholesterol, which is your LDL. It's high in vitamin C and K, and it improves your digestion and it fuels the good bacteria in your gut. Cabbage. And I want to show you my cabbage here that I got. It's beautiful and it's organic. I got green and purple. So
Beautiful.
this is going to be our side tonight. So I'm just going to go ahead. I already have my olive oil in here. I'm going to turn my stove on and I've got it. So it's a tablespoon of olive oil, a tablespoon of my grass-fed unsalted butter, and that's already in here. And then you take 1.5 teaspoons where you put your cabbage in. So we're going to take our cabbage. I shredded it up already. So you just cut it in really small slivers, cut it in half down to the core, and then cut it in small slivers. So I'm going to put that in there. Then I'm going to put 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt. And the reason there's so much is the salt helps the cabbage cook down, right? So that's why there's 1.5 teaspoons, because some people might think that's a bit much, but I use like a really nice salt.
Ooh, yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh la la
Um,
from
yeah,
France.
ooh la la. And then there's a 1/2 teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. So I like to do mine right out of the old mill, and I just kind of judge as I'm throwing it in there. And then a 1/2 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And that's going to kind of go in at the end, not right now. And then a little bit of fresh thyme, it says. But of course, I have not fresh thyme because I haven't started growing my herbs yet. But eventually I will. And
Yummy.
so once I get it all done, I'll let that cook while Kim's talking about hers. And at the end and in the comments, I'll post what it looks like tonight, and I'll let you all know how it tastes because I've never tried it before. So this is the first time.
Oh, I gotta say, I am obsessed with red cabbage.
Yeah,
I
it's
I
good.
slice it up like you do, and I have it in salads a lot,
Yeah.
raw. And then we've done it with stir fry. So I love red cabbage. And that deep purple color, deep red color is full of phytonutrients. So it's really good for
Yep.
you. I appreciate you.
Delicious.
So I'm doing the Brussels sprouts side. And if you ever remember Brussels sprouts when you were a kid, you probably didn't like them so well. They were overcooked and mushy and gross. But I kept seeing this recipe and I went on Reels and on TikTok, and I thought I got to try this. And so I made it yesterday, last night, because it was the first time, and I wanted to make sure I did it right. And actually had a chef in the kitchen helping me, my husband, and kind of overseeing it. But we made it, and this recipe is called crispy smashed Brussels sprouts. And what you do, they end up like a smashed Brussels sprout. They're crispy, and you can eat them, like pick them up with your hand and like dip them in something or just eat them. But anyway, that's the goal. So mine didn't quite turn out that way, but they were still really good. And I know
Good.
what happened. The recipe called for boiling the Brussels sprouts first, and I think we boiled them too long. Added
Oh,
salted water. Anyway, but they come out once you drain them, and you just put them on a jelly roll pan on parchment paper. And then I took a bottom of a glass and just smashed them down flat-ish. And then added my spices, or no, before I did that, sorry, when I took them out and drained them, I made a little bowl of extra virgin olive oil, 2 tablespoons, which I will post the recipe as well, and just a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and black pepper and cayenne, and which is really good. And then mix that in a bowl, and then toss the Brussels sprouts, then put them on the parchment paper, and then smashed them, and then put them in the oven at 425. And then the thing was, they were too wet and
oh,
didn't really crisp up like they were supposed to. And so we cooked them a little bit longer, and then took them out, and then put some, it called for Parmesan cheese, but I had grated Romano cheese, which
mm,
is pecorino slash sheep cheese, which is actually really good for your digestion.
yeah,
So sprinkled those on there. I should say Jim did it because he's really good at that. And then we put it back in the oven for 10 more minutes, and it came out, and they weren't like pick upable like they're supposed to be, but we used a fork and ate them, and they were really delicious. So we're like,
good.
Jim said, I know how to make it better next time. He goes, I'm just going to we'll just roast them. Because all we did was you just cut the ends off. I mean, they're so easy. And then you can just slice them in half if you wanted to, but I would just keep them full because we're going to smash them anyway. But
Hmm.
so there's different ways you can do it and experiment with it, but getting the right spices is good too. But Brussels sprouts are so good for us, very similar to cabbage. Half a cup has two uh, 2 calories, so it's very low in calories.
Wow. Yeah.
Um, it's got 2 grams of protein, 2 grams of fiber, also high in vitamin K, also high in vitamin C and folate, which is really good. So it's also, both of these, cabbage and Brussels sprouts, are a cruciferous vegetable. And cruciferous vegetables are really good for estrogen, to support
Mm,
estrogen. And so that's a good thing to know. So it's that's another good reason to get your cabbage and get your Brussels sprouts. So anyway, I'm gonna post the recipe, but I'm gonna like post what I would do better, what I would do next time. So we'll
right.
experiment with it. And that's the fun about cooking anyways, like experimenting and seeing
Exactly.
what works and stuff. So how's your stir fry?
Exactly. So it's going good. It's getting softer. It says no, you don't have to stir it a whole lot, just to kind of
Yeah.
let it go. So I'm a stirrer, and I probably did it too much. But like I
Oh,
said, I'll post the recipe. I'll tell you guys how it is. Yeah, it's getting nice and loose, so it's working well. Greg and I
you
are going
want
to have it as our side tonight for dinner. So I'll post my
yeah.
plate and the recipe and let you know how it is. And the one thing I would say is, what I have read about cabbage is it is very good for you, and all the things that I said. And you can eat it, like Kim said, raw or cooked. But what I read was it's better to eat it cooked. You get something, there's two vitamins that you get, or nutrients, that when cooked, it's better for you. But it's still good to do raw, but just don't eat it every day raw, because it
Yeah.
could mess with your
Yeah.
digestion a little bit.
Usually when you're cooking, it breaks it down. So it makes it easier to digest. So yeah, that's true.
Right, right.
And I misspoke. Half a cup of Brussels sprouts is 20 calories, not 2 calories. So that's,
Oh, when you said that, I was like, dang, that's like
I,
low.
I know, that's like
That's
nothing.
good.
So 20
Okay.
calories, which is still pretty
Oh
low.
yeah, look at these guys.
Oh man, it's beautiful.
That's coming
Oh,
out.
I
It's really
love
getting
that.
cooking down. I cannot wait to eat this.
Oh my gosh, that looks
So
good. Me too. I wish I was next door to you.
come on
But
up, Kim.
I know. So you know what else would be good with that, Robin, is to do some sliced onions and then
Oh, I
saute
bet.
it.
Yeah, have to
It'll be good.
experiment. Like you
Yeah.
say, experiment with it for sure, for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, we hope you had a got a couple good recipes on this Wellness Wednesday.
Yep.
Sides that you could try. And if you do try them, let us know in the comments if you have made them or you like it, or what are your thoughts are. So we we will post our recipes. So hope you
Yep.
have a great rest of your Wednesday and have fun and live young. And we'll see you next week.
All right. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.